So what about now? Where does it end?
Yeah, just like this after the project, this is a small project I did, the personal research. I think after this project, and I really have this question sticks to my mind, which is like, what's even real anymore? Because when you are making images, and at some point you're capable of generating quite realistic images and then animate them. It really itched my brain. I was like, okay, but I think it was like, what is our relation to images if we can make everything from scratch, and also like even the way we consume images right now on social media was quite questionable, like even for us specialists. Sometimes it happened that we are on Instagram and at some point you just realize that you're looking at an AI generated content 5 seconds later. And I think it really transformed the way we work. And sometimes I'm in front of my computer and I just realized that I like to do visuals, and right now I'm just in front of interfaces and writing more than actually working on images.
Yeah, it's funny because we were talking about it during lunch. For me, at least, when I look at stuff on Instagram, I get inspired when I can tell it's real, and sometimes when I can tell that there's tremendous suffering behind it. If I know that an artist has made something, and it took him like a year of his life, and he got cancer, like on his way like to the post-production office or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, sick. But if it's AI and it's the same thing, I'll be like, yeah, okay. And that begs the question: how do we continue to get inspired if we live in a world where we don't even know what's real anymore? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is an ongoing project I'm working on. I'm working on the tour show for a duo artist called Primal Instinct. It's a techno duo, and so the tour show is 1 hour of live music, so of the visual behind them when they will be playing. And it's funny because this is a project I'm working right now, and I've seen all the evolution and the multiplication of the different services, techniques, etc. And we like to think the improvement in terms of quality, in terms of toolings, and now also like you can see that all the can say that there are so many tools and so many news that every 2 weeks there is something that is released and that question everything, and it's quite difficult also to keep tracks of the different new stuff that you can make, and it's quite interesting to me. And for example, this is like the actual stuff I'm working right now, so very absurd, and also, like now we are making some images on local workflows. So you don't have anymore. You can be so precise that it's crazy. It's actually scary. And you can also, you have really 5 different multiple way to make videos with different services that have their own capacity, their own preferences, and you can also go now from video to audio generated from the video. So that's actually, I didn't make the sound, just like the AI made it based on the video. So you have like kind of a full circle of different toolings and tools that are very interesting, I think, for very creative and in this case very absurd project.
Yeah. And then I went the monk route. You went the continue creating stuff, and I went the monk route, which is teaching now. So I teach in 3 different schools about AI. 2 schools that you probably haven't heard about, called Gobelin and EPSA, and one that you maybe have heard about called Louis Lumière, where I just train people in the arts of image making. And what that means is like I teach them about invoke AI. Like if we're being real, that's what I do. But it's super interesting, and it's super interesting to see how younger generations use that tool I know like one question I ask every time is like, at the start of my workshops, I ask, is anybody against AI? Is anybody not interested in what I'm about to say? And there's always people who are like not interested. And then I ask again at the end of the workshop, and usually at least one of them is interested. I don't know if they're being polite, but I like to think that I actually change lives. No, I don't. This is the stuff that they do. It's cool. It's cool. They do cool stuff. And now for the nerds, we'll just mention some of the tools that we used. Well, I guess I can just read through this list, which is pretty easy. I mean, I don't have to read through it. It's literally right there, like if you want to take a picture. But yeah, maybe the thing that I can talk about is the next slide, like the two interesting things we found. This might be interesting for some of the more technical. Oh, never mind. I saw someone taking a photo. I don't know if you're done. Right, you seem to be done. Oh, shit. Ah, pardon. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just like super quickly, and then I promise we'll leave the stage. There's these two projects. One which is called V-Enhancer, and which maybe some of the more technical-minded people have heard of. It's a framework that allows you to take video generations and clean them up and make them look not AI. And it's surprisingly good. You just need a beefy computer to use it. So I thought I'd put it in here because it's interesting. And for some of the people here who are into AI but not into the AI look, this is interesting. And then the other thing is Star, which is a video upscaling tool, which works quite like the latest version that Topaz Video they're going to introduce, which is an actual good solution for video upscaling, because so far we haven't had one. This is for you.
Yeah, and I've been working this winter on maybe the project that is the most closer continuity of the Luther project. I hope I could show it now, but it's just released in 2 days because it was delayed. So yeah, just be ready to check it out.
Subscribe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much. I think it gives a really great overview. What I was so fascinated with is this integrating all those different kind of tools. And I think what you mentioned, that planning a shoot like this for a very long time for Luther, and then a tool comes out that throws everything out of order, and at the same time having those iterative, fluid, agile processes in it. It shows a little bit how this is changing. Is it for you so radical because you have a background in animation already? And is there something that throws you off, or is this a way you're used to work in general?
I guess we're both we're tinkerers. We didn't go to film school. We went to school, like I mentioned, and we just like vibed for 2 years. And in the end, like, we are tinkerers. So when a new tool comes out, we're like monkeys. Like, we jump on it immediately and we try to figure it out. And I know that that's not usually the case. Like, there's a lot of people who are not interested in doing that. But for us, it's very true. Like, when Gen 3 came out, we were like, we weren't going to stick to whatever we had prepared, because obviously Gen 3 is better. We just immediately jumped on it. And Gen 3, I mean, it's not that complicated.
Yeah, I think we like to embrace the technology and see what it really makes us feel, and find a way to put it in our workflows and figure it out if it could change the way we make visuals. And we like to do this with every kind of technologies, and that's through that AI really, I think, change everything on the entire pipeline. And so, yeah, I think it's very interesting to us.
Yep.
One last question. How much time goes into researching all those tools and all those different workflows? Because it looks like if you always have to stay up on top, that takes up also a lot of time for you.
I think, to be honest, First step is having a Reddit account. Second step is subscribing to the Stable Diffusion subreddit, maybe a couple others. And then the third step is just reading through it every now and then and filtering out the bullshit.
Yeah, also, I think it's funny because he's using Reddit and I'm using LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
LinkedIn is my way to go with the AI. I don't know why, just like I train the algorithm for the AI. But I think for it's like a constant work of just try to figure it out and trying to find a moment to try to test and crash test all of these and figure it out where if it could fit somewhere and in which situations. Because we are asked for commercial work for many different supports or formats, and sometimes it could be interesting, sometimes not. And also like the collaborative or working with having collaborators. And now we have really interesting groups of people having different backgrounds, and we exchange a lot of our references and knowledge.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, I've worked in this company recently as a freelance called, so it's a post-production company in Paris called Everest, and they have their little CGI/image making division called 8849, and they have one guy whose sole job it is, quite literally, to craft comfy AI workflows and to stay on top of like anything AI, and it's kind of amazing what they're able to achieve with having just one person just crafting comfy UI workflows in-house.
I think the comfy UI is something we'll dive in a little bit tomorrow. But as we're lagging a little bit behind, usually we wanted to have a little bit of a Q&A here. But you're both here a little bit longer, so take the opportunity, talk to JB and Theo. They're outside or hanging around here somewhere. Take the opportunity. And thank you so much for being here and sharing your work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.